All right. Look how fucking stupid I look. Does that count for something? Well, why'd you put a taco? Great, the green screen fell. You can't see that, it's too dark in there. Yeah, look, I'm wearing the taco hat and I'm wearing the glasses. You know why? People like my videos a little bit more if I look fucking stupid. You're more prone to watch my video if I look stupid, so here I am, looking stupid. All right. Yeah, you see the title of this video has something to do with vegetarianism, right? And here I am with the taco hat. It's not related. I was just like, I put the glasses on and I was like, all right, this looks kind of cool. And I was like, but it doesn't look, I mean, it looks stupid enough. Don't let me say it doesn't look stupid enough, it does. But now it really looks stupid. Yeah, so I've, first of all, shout out to Kent Yusufovitz. Am I saying it right now? Shout out to Igor, shout out to Crystal Pasoda, shout out to Zoe Strebel, shout out to Ono, shout out to my mom, shout out to my sister, shout out to my brother. Shout out probably to my dad, and God, I'm always missing a person or two here. Shout out to Trent, at least we're only a minute in, he's still watching. And shout out, if I missed you just now, I'm so sorry. I tried, shout out to Jeremy, shout out to Greg. Okay, I knew it. See, I meant to write these down on a 3x5 card. I swear to God, it does mean the world to me that anybody watches these videos. You already heard me say that. So I haven't filmed the video of me talking in a little while. I've made all these videos and I scheduled them because now the videos are coming out every 2 weeks, right? And I gotta say, it feels phony. Like I schedule them, I think they're scheduled through like fucking December or something, which that shit just doesn't seem right, even though December's right around the corner in a way. But I haven't felt compelled to turn on the camera and make a video until today. And now I have something I want to talk about. And as you can see from the title, well, let me talk about this first. I was at the gym just now. I was trying to get fucking built. No, I'm just kidding. I work out for the same reason a lot of people do, I think, which is that you feel better, your body will hopefully last longer, and in my case, it's a great way to relieve stress and to deal with your emotions and to get the anger out. It's really a fantastic thing. I even treated myself to a double espresso before because I was feeling a little sleepy today. But before I get to the vegetarianism diatribe, I gotta tell you something funny that happened at the gym. So, at the gym, I always see the sign that says, no chalk allowed, memberships will still be revoked, and underneath that it says, liquid chalk is still chalk. I've never used chalk at the gym. I don't know what the fuck the story is, maybe you do. So I'm leaving the gym. I got earplugs in, but I could still hear this happen. I'm leaving the gym. Damn, this taco head ain't gonna last long. It's fucking itching. I'm leaving the gym, and this young kid comes up. He comes up to the fucking employee. Not like a guy who runs the place, like the guy who fucking wipes the sweat up and shit. And he's like, yo, he's like, is liquid chalk allowed? And the guy's like, no. And the kid's like, where's the sign then? Where's the sign at? And the guy is like, they're everywhere. He's like, they're in the other room. Like, he doesn't even care because it's just such like everybody. They only have like 2 signs up that don't say like, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. They really only have like a couple signs that's like, don't put weights inside, don't wedge weights into the fucking, between the machines and stuff to change their, I was gonna say infrastructure, but don't fucking put weights underneath the things. Don't drop the weights, don't slam the weights. But the big one is the chalk one. And I've seen it for the 2 years that I've been working out at this place all the time. So the guy is just like, yeah, the signs are all over the place. And the kid's like, I don't see them. And I'm just amazed by this. And the guy's like, you want me to show you one? I work here. I'm telling you, liquid chalk is not allowed. And the guy's like, I just didn't see the signs. And he's like, it's not allowed. He's like, you just trust me, man. I just thought it was so funny, like this. Like, if you didn't have a sign up, then it was like, well, fuck, if you don't have a sign up, then you can do whatever you want, like fucking throw weights through the windows. It doesn't have a sign that says don't throw dumbbells through the glass windows, but you can't do that either. But I guess I'm thinking about arrogance, and this kid to me was so arrogant and so entitled to just like, when people expect like society, especially the service industry, to bow down to them, or some poor, I've been a cashier, I've been a waiter, I've been a frozen food clerk. When they expect like the Karen types, right? We all know the word Karen by now, but when they expect you to like society, they expect people to bend over for them, and like that level of entitlement really just rubs me the wrong way. Because I just don't feel that way, you know? Oh, and if they feel different from me, then they're definitely wrong. No, okay. Anyhow, that was just the chalk. This really is itching. It's gotta go. So, I'll maybe put a wig on in a second. So that's the chalk antidote, okay? You heard that story. God, it wasn't even good. I'm getting a wig right now. Hold on. Hold on. Remix. This one looks good. Ah, you just saw me in that for my new music video. I don't even want to wear a fucking wig, all right? I got you hooked with the taco hat. Now you're in. Now let's talk about vegetarianism, okay? I've been a vegetarian right now, only I gotta look at the calendar, honestly, for about 30 something days. By the time you see this, it will have been a lot longer. I know, that sucks, but I'm just being real with you about the scheduled videos. You don't even care. I care. I think you care, but you don't. So, prior to that, I was basically eating meat on and off, mostly on, for the better part of like 5 years. And basically never chicken, never pork, some fish, primarily red meat, okay? Prior to that, I was a vegetarian, not a vegan, mind you, a vegetarian for about, it was like between 12 and 14 years. It was a long stretch, okay? And now that I've switched back, I gotta say, I wish, and this is not what I'm here to do to you, but I wish some hardcore vegetarian, I wish some hardcore vegetarian or vegan would have approached me and basically put me down and just like reminded me of why I was a vegetarian. And because for me, what it basically is that I just cannot reconcile the process of harming another living being. Plain and simple. Did I state that clearly and simply enough? And so, so how'd you eat meat for those 5 years? The same way as anybody else who's not a piece of shit does it. Although there's an argument there too that they're not that great of a person. Is through basically a compartmentalizing of my thoughts and feelings and ethical beliefs. What does that mean? To me, let me tell you what that means for me. It's the argument when you talk to somebody, Menace, are you watching this? Shout out Menace too. And he'll say, oh yeah, no, I totally get it. If I really think about it, it makes me really sad. But I basically gotta not think about it. I basically have to create a compartment in my mind where I ignore that thought or that feeling. It's because meat tastes so good, or I need it for my body, or whatever. I don't even think that last part, I don't think there's an argument for that last part that's true. I will say, you will have a much more manly body if you eat meat, plain and simple. That's just the fact of the matter. I lost a lot of muscle as soon as I went veggie this time, and I got really depressed for about a week or two. But now I'm feeling happier than I have in a very long time. I've been feeling that way for, I don't know, 2 weeks now almost. A lot of 2 weeks talk, 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there. But, so this compartmentalizing thing, this is pretty common, because people, they have cats, they have dogs, and you say like, well, what, would you kill your cat or would you kill your dog? And of course the answer is no, hopefully. But they would, they'll contribute in a systematic way to like just an atrocious, horrific episode that continually takes place on a conveyor belt and in cages. And I'm not, please don't turn the video off thinking I'm gonna start talking about the meat industry, because I don't even know enough about it. Well, you know what? I do know enough about it, but I'm not qualified to talk about it. So this compartmentalizing, I know other people, I don't think Trent is still watching, but if he is, if you are, there are plenty of people who are just like, I don't give a shit, like it's a dumb animal, fuck it, we've been eating animals forever. There's like this is the thing about vegetarianism and carnivorism. Is there a word for it? Non-vegetarianism? There's a pretty valid argument on every side of it. At the end of the day, for me though, I've had to come to terms with the fact that I can't live in conflict with my own belief system. Simple as that. It just doesn't lead to good things. But here's why I'm even talking about this, okay? Because it's a personal choice. I started becoming a vegetarian again, and I can't believe it stuck this time, because I've been trying that for years and years and years and didn't have the fucking commitment inside me to do it. So why did I even turn on the camera then and make a video about it? Why am I making my impassioned plea for you to consider this? No, that's not even what it is. I'm not, maybe I am and I just don't like the way it sounds. At the end of the day, I'd like to think I don't give a shit what you do, but maybe I do. Maybe I do want you to become a vegetarian. That's lame, I know. I don't think I do. I'm gonna have to think about that. I don't have like a unified thought pattern on that topic, but here's what happened, okay? I'm close with the birds. Love birds. That's why I never ate chicken, pretty much. If somebody was like throwing a piece of chicken away, I would eat it. I love my birds. I'm so close with these birds that I feed in the backyard. I love my cats. And I feel a special kind of like love for all living creatures. And I realize that's very Buddhist, but let me give you an example. I read right here every fucking night, sometimes in the afternoon too. Ken Bruin's Purgatory, present, incredible author. He's the reason I'm going to Ireland, actually. A big part of the reason. And I'm reading there, and a bug comes on me. Look, I live in the desert. I got a cat thing where bugs can come in the house sometimes. A bug comes on me, and I'm like, oh, little bug, you know, whatever, it's an earwig. Ew, earwigs are, I just don't think that animals are disgusting anymore. Any kind, even insects, a spider, an earwig, whatever, a stink bug, a Japanese beetle, it doesn't matter to me. So this bug is on me, and I like go to just kind of shoo him off because he's like itching or tickling me, and I accidentally killed him, okay? It's very easy to do when wiping something away that's that size that you could just like destroy their life, okay? And I was so sad. I was just like, that can never happen again. I can never, like, I can blow them off or I can let them crawl on me. And I know you're thinking that's ridiculous. At least a couple people are thinking that's ridiculous. Okay, fair enough. I respect your belief on this topic. But to me, it's not ridiculous. And I just, for a spider, the reason this is gonna sound ridiculous to you too, I was going to this yoga studio for a long time, Sunrock Yoga. Fuck them. No, they're fine, and they were like, all of a sudden there was a spider in the room, and like they were killing it. All these women, it was all women, of course, and then me, and they were killing the spider, trying to get it with the yoga block. Did you get it? Did you get it? And my world fell apart. Okay, and I know again, as you think that sounds ridiculous, but I was just like, my basic thought is that. And I asked them this after, especially at a yoga studio with like the Buddhism and the spirituality and respect all living things. How do you contrast that with, or how do you, what's that word? Not contrast, not compartmentalize. How do you, curse me, I can't think of the word. Oh well. Oh, I gotta stop thinking. I'm trying to figure out what that word is. Let's just say connect it. How do you connect that thought of like respect all living beings, which is a pretty Buddhist belief if you don't already know that, with kill the spider, did you get it? Kill it. That's like, all right, look, I know people are afraid of spiders. I know people think you get bit by spiders in the night. It's largely not true, by the way. But I was so fucking sad, okay? And I was like, damn, is there something wrong with me? Like, am I experiencing, and this is frequent for me, that I experience a disproportionate amount of feeling to like the actual event or stimulus. Like if somebody does anything that resembles bullying to me, I will experience a level of rage that is just incomprehensible to a mentally stable, emotionally mature person, okay? And it's all just childhood shit. It's related to bullying, and I recognize it, and I go to therapy. Don't worry about me. So, but the sadness I felt about the spider, and I asked them a question, which I'm going to repeat a few times throughout this. Which, Jesus, don't let me make you think it's going to be that long or boring. But the question is, why did those people believe that the spider's life was not of the same value as their own? Okay, why did they believe that their life was more valuable than the spider's? And a lot, when you ask that, I did ask them, people will immediately kind of reject that. They'll say, oh no, I don't think its life is not as important as mine. It's like, well, let's take your son, Joey, Jemmy, whatever. You think your son's life is as important as yours, thus you wouldn't crush him with, let's say, a fucking hammer or a giant dumbbell. You wouldn't kill him without even like thinking about it. You just wouldn't. It's a human being, right? We think a human being's more valuable. I know. But it's, to me, I mean, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but people do think that the spider's life is not valuable, especially in comparison to their own. Like you could really draw a chart of like humans here, dogs and cats here, right? Isn't that what's next? And then it's like animals that look wise, like lizards and owls. And then like all the lesser things, like the ones of cows we just eat and fucking manufacture pretty much. And it's just, again, I never got, this woman was like, she was like, oh no, I believe in the cycle of life. I've seen, like, I've killed a cockroach and seen a bird like come out, and it was the spirit. I was like, oh my God, well, you're so fucking lost in this realm of like beliefs that I was lost at that point. I was like, oh, it's kind of like when you're talking to somebody and they're like, I don't like, this just happened to me last night. I'm not gonna name a name, and he's not gonna watch this. But he was like, yeah, he's like, I didn't like when Pantera did the pentagram stuff. And I was like, oh, we were talking about music. And I was like, what's wrong? Like, what's the deal with the pentagrams? And I was just like, is it for religious reasons? And of course, then you hear, oh no, I'm not even religious, I'm more spiritual, which basically people who have been fucked in the head with religion as children, or for whatever reason don't want to associate with religious organizations, which is understandable. They like to just use spirituality instead. But at the end of the day, it's still just, it's religion. It's the same shit. My opinion. So he's like, no, it's just bad juju and all this. He's like, I believe in ghosts. And, Lord forgive me, I just started judging him. And my judgment was like, all right, he's not that smart, which I know is mean and shitty and elitist and condescending. It's like, oh no, I'm smarter than him because I don't think ghosts are real. It's like, fuck me, that's really mean and shitty. And can't I respect his beliefs? But when I hear somebody say pentagrams are like bad or scary, I'm sorry. I basically just assume somehow you're either lacking in a little bit of education or a little bit of intellect, okay? And that's my problem. I'm bad for that. I'm gonna just say that, okay? Let me just openly say that. So back to the spiders, all right? The reason I'm even talking about this is because Mom, are you still watching? I was talking to my mom, and she was talking about this bug situation, killing the bugs, and she says, and then I found a spider, so I killed it. And I didn't say this to her, and if you're watching now, Mom, sorry to even be talking about this, but I had to get off the phone. I was like, oh, I gotta go, I'm busy. But actually what really happened is I was crushed. My world was like, I was so sad. Remember when empaths was a thing? Like around 2017, every girl was like, I'm an empath. I don't believe in that, generally speaking, but I will say, that moment for me, it's a disproportionate amount of like feeling about something that most people, situationally, you would kind of judge it to be like, oh, she killed a spider, like it doesn't mean much. But my world fell apart, which all it really means is I just felt a tremendous amount of sadness. And don't go thinking that I'm saying I'm an empath, okay? Because I'm not. But I had to get off the phone, and I came back to the same argument. I was like, it's so sad to me. It's so just utterly sad that this spider's life doesn't matter, It matters to the spider. It does. I'm gonna go get a different room here. I've been here for a long time. It matters to the spider. Make no mistake about that. Like, I was just talking to my sister too, and we were talking about hemorrhoids and shitting. Hey, come grow up, okay? We were talking about hemorrhoids and shitting, and she's a vegetarian, by the way, unrelated. But I was just thinking about when people are like, I'm different. That's what it really is. I wouldn't say we're not different than a cat or a cow or a dog or a pig or a spider. We are different, but I just don't think we're better, and I don't think we matter more, and I don't think we're more important, all right? Look, I'm getting impassioned now. A moth has a brain the size of a fucking pinhead. Birds have one about the size of a peanut or something. Cats a little bit bigger, more like a baby's fist or something. Dogs, the brain gets bigger, but as the human race just thinks that means it matters more. And I can't get with that. I don't feel it. I don't know if I ever have. I haven't like, oh, you've never killed a mosquito? Yeah, I've killed a fucking mosquito. Yeah, I've eaten meat, you know? It's complicated. It's a complex and complicated thing, but back to the shitting. We're talking about shitting, and I'm just thinking of like, you know, again, this is the thing, human beings, they like to think we're like animals, right? But we're not like animals, we are animals. That's not my opinion. If you're a person who, generally speaking, believes in facts, that is a fact. Scientific fact. We're an animal. Our species is called Homo sapien. We're technically an ape, okay? You don't even need to say technically, we are apes. What is the bonobos, right? The bonobos, you ever look those up? 98% of our DNA shared with them. So we're not like animals, we are animals. And when I think of shitting and eating, okay? Think of life, like just a living entity of any kind. You wanna live, you shit, and you eat. Fuck, maybe you fuck too. Maybe that's like the fourth one, but it's such an animal thing to me to be sitting down taking a shit. It's like no different than what a cat does, or a dog, or a bird, or anybody. And I know this is annoying, like sounding like a bleeding heart liberal trying to tug at your heartstrings. I'm really not. I can't reconcile it. Thank you, that's what I was looking for earlier. How do I reconcile this with that? But I guess at the end of the day, like I'm kind of appalled and astonished by the arrogance of humanity, okay? And I've had people say that to me in the past, where they're like, I'm disgusted with humanity. I have people who say that to me now. We don't treat our people, this is the bad. We don't treat people in our country good. We treat them horribly. I hear that, I'm basically offended by it, because I'm like, are you talking about me? What do you mean we? You know? So maybe you're offended when you hear me say the arrogance of the human race is appalling to me. Let me just be clear, I am including myself in that, and there's a good chance I'm including you too, and everybody. Because I don't understand it. That's all it is. It's not like I'm filled with hatred, or it's not that maybe it is that I'm lacking in intellect somehow, but I can't, again, back to the basic thing is that I cannot understand. And let me just be clear too, arrogance, right? Basic definition is an offensive sense of superiority, okay? We think we're better than cows and chickens, pigs, fish, insects, spiders. And I just don't know why. Is it because we're smarter and our brains are bigger? Is it because of the tradition of hundreds of thousands and millions of years of killing animals and killing each other? I know there's other factors like spiders and snakes can actually be very dangerous and harm or even kill you, and I'm sure that's a factor too. I know that people are afraid of spiders and snakes because of an evolutionary history of there being a good reason to be afraid of them. But at this point, it doesn't make sense anymore. Like, there's a spider in the corner, so I killed it. Let me just say one last thing, is that at our most basic, every animal, generally speaking, if you look, this is like a D.H. Lawrence quote almost, but if you really look, they all basically have the desire to love and be loved, okay? Say whatever you want about how we're different from every other living thing. Spiders, cows, cats, dogs, zebras, that's good. I'm glad I threw that one in there. Say whatever you want about how we're different, and there are indeed many differences, but I have to say, we all have one thing in common, and is that we want to live. That's it. We want to live. We don't want to die. That's the evolutionary mechanism built into every fucking living thing, even plants, is that we just want to live. We want to not have some fucking person or some thing come over and kill us needlessly, pointlessly, and without any thought, arrogantly. Truly arrogant. And it sounds mean. And Mom, if you're watching, I'm not saying you're arrogant. I guess I am though. I'm saying you are, and so are all of us. And it's offensive to me. In a sense that it makes me sad, you know? It's offensive to me that anybody thinks they're so superior to another living being that they can just kill it with the flick of the wrist and not even think about it, and it doesn't mean anything. That is, I'm not exaggerating here, that's incomprehensible to me, even though I've participated in that before. What do you do when you get a scorpion in your house? I get a scorpion in the house about once a week during the summer. What do you think I do? I put them in a cup, get the piece of paper, flip it over, take them outside. Spiders, I let them roam free, 100%. Earwigs, stuff like that, they can hang. Sometimes if there's, I'll look up stuff online to see if it's like bad to have earwigs in your house and see if I gotta actually do something about it. And yeah, look, this was an impassioned plea of sorts. But what am I asking you to do? I'm not asking you to become a vegetarian. I'm not asking you to stop killing spiders. Although, God, that would be great if you stopped killing spiders. What difference does it make? I'll tell you what difference it makes. If one more spider lives because of this video, then one more spider lives, and I'm sorry, that means something. In the sense that nothing means anything and obviously doesn't mean a fucking thing. But the idea that a thing who wants nothing more than to live and to exist in its probably pretty short life already, if it gets to live a little bit longer because you didn't just kill it for no reason. God, I know I sound like a pussy. I know I'm coming with this vegetarianism whole thing, and I know I'm not gonna change anybody, and I really would like to think I'm not seeking to change anybody with this argument. People love eating meat, and I know the various arguments, including the health ones, which I think are a little bit misleading and overblown. I know there's a lot of arguments on both sides of it. I guess there might be with killing a spider too, but I don't know. You heard me talk. I guess I felt so much about this that I wanted to make a video, and so I did. A lot of people might think I'm a pussy now. There's a lot of people who are like, I feel how I feel about the meat, and I don't give a fuck what you say. And that's totally fine and cool and pretty much correct. I can't understand it. I really can't. I would love to hear from somebody who doesn't compartmentalize. And again, compartmentalizing is somebody who says, I love animals so much. And yet animal rights, for example, of like pigs, cows, and birds, chicken, fowl, doesn't mean a thing to them. And I don't even talk about that, but you go to Carl's Jr. or McDonald's and order the thing, and you don't even think about the meat. You don't know where it came from. I mean, if you read Fast Food Nation back in the year 2000, maybe you know something about it. But that's part of the compartmentalization, is you don't know where it came from, and you don't really consciously know what you're contributing to. But you compartmentalize it. You don't ever, I want to hear from the person who wouldn't be bothered by watching those PETA, people for the ethical treatment of animals, who wouldn't be bothered by watching PETA videos from a slaughterhouse. Am I misunderstanding that? Like, is that not compartmentalization and justification? Like, if you're not cool watching a PETA video, but you still want to eat meat, then correct me if I'm wrong here, I really mean that too. You've compartmentalized that into a part of your brain, and so I've decided I am choosing to not care about that. Because whatever, it tastes good, I want the protein, take your pick, any of the many reasons. It's for my health, whatever. I don't know. Again, it's, I guess, beyond what I've already said. I'm going to close this up here. It's 29 minutes long. Beyond what I've said, no, I've already said that too. I just really don't understand it. I really cannot comprehend the level of superiority and arrogance that humans have. Ooh, so do you think like a fox has that, or a fox, bad example, a coyote has that arrogance when they kill a cat? No, their brains aren't big enough. They don't have abstract, if science is correct, they don't have abstract thought in the same way that a human being does. Okay, the coyote kills the cat and eats it because that's how they're wired, that's their evolution, their DNA. And basically, they don't even have the capacity to do what we do with the thought compartmentalization and the justification. It's not possible for them. It's possible for us, and we kind of all do it. And I probably do it in a lot of other areas too, but look, this is not me, the birth of me trying to say, I want to be a better person. I do, generally speaking, but this is not like, again, I don't even like to think of this as an impassioned plea. I really like to think of it as me saying, wow, I just don't understand. And maybe that's the basic like solipsistic dilemma, is that you cannot understand anybody's way of thinking other than your own. But oddly, I can understand that way of thinking. It's the compartmentalization. I just wonder, what does it take to dislodge that to where people are not having to live in conflict with their own belief systems? God, I really hope I didn't piss you off, whoever's watching this still. And I hope I'm not attacking anybody for eating meat. I don't mean to. Again, that's why I open up by saying I've been eating meat for 5 years. The only thing is, I regret it. I'm like borderline upset about it, that I could let it go on for that long. So look, vegetarians are annoying, vegans are even more annoying. I'm just gonna acknowledge that and say I hope I didn't piss anybody off, and continue living your life however you do. And if you have some insight, again, I would love to talk to somebody or hear from somebody who doesn't compartmentalize those thoughts. Because I wonder what that's like, and I wonder why they have that, and most people don't. There are people who are just like, I need whatever. I can't even talk about it anymore. Done to death. This topic is done. This topic was already done to death in the world, and now it's really done to death. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope you like my stupid glasses. Hope I didn't piss you off. But if you did get pissed off, why did you? Worth exploring, maybe not. You got better things to do. All right, later.
I'll catch you later.